Back in the late 80s and early 90s, I didn't have the internet. Hell, I didn't even know what it was yet, and unless you were spoiled out of control, you didn't really get your hands on every gaming magazine that came out. Remember, those cost money, and money doesn't grow on trees. Myself and others like me relied heavily on video game box art to guide us to that perfect weekend of video game rental bliss. So when a cover wasn't convincing or just plain completely deceiving, I usually just walked right past it, never giving it another thought. This is misleading cover art. Now, Strider was definitely one of my favorite Genesis games, but the cover is without a doubt a bit misleading. From the purple spandex to the blonde Bruce Willis hairdo, this box art doesn't do this game justice. I can still remember the first time I saw the box for Dragon Warrior at a local video game rental shop. I was like 5 years old and I was instantly sold on it. That is until I picked up the game and looked at the back of the box. It looked like utter crap. I mean, what's a 5-year-old want with an RPG? In my mind, the cover looked like it was going to be something along the lines of Castlevania. Your mystical quest begins. Search out the dragon's lair. No thanks. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Great game, but I didn't know that until a few years after its release. That's because I walked right past it every time I saw it. This is an alternate cover I found. I'm not sure if it's the PAL version or if it's fan-made or what, but this is what I'm talking about. If I saw this as a kid, I would have given it a chance for sure. Why this? Shaquille O'Neal had Shaq Fu and MJ had Chaos in the Windy City. Now, at first glance, who knows what this game is? I mean, it's got Michael Jordan on the cover and he's holding basketballs and wearing street gear. I always just assumed it was a street ball game similar to Barkley Shut Up and Jam. Wrong. This is actually an action platformer, and it's not horrible. It's not great, but it's playable. But I never played it. That's because I wasn't a huge fan of sports titles on the 16-bit consoles, and I thought this was just another basketball game. All they really had to do was change the background to maybe one of the level designs, and that would have intrigued more people to figure out what this game was about. Anticipation is another one of those NES games I never wanted to play. This is due to the front and the back of the box art combined. As a kid, looking at all these adults playing and then flipping the box over and seeing all this puzzle crap, I always just assumed it was a video game for adults. I mean, I know it says party fun for all ages, so why not throw a kid or two into the cover? And what's with all these old dorks? This doesn't make me want to play it. Rival Turf is a great beat-em-up game in my opinion, but I pretty much love all beat-em-ups. Regardless, this cover is absolutely ridiculous. You got this guy here with the long neck, sporting a red leather jacket and a backwards hat. He's just cool, and his buddy, he's got the black cowhides on with a red bandana and his fist in the air, or is it up against his head? I can't tell. You got the one lone building standing in the background against the orange sky, and to top it off, the logo for the game is just extremely simple and boring. Now, this never stopped me from playing this game because as soon as I flipped it over and saw the gameplay, I was sold, but it did lead me to walk by it a few times before I actually picked it up. Bomberman, NES. Most of us are all familiar with the gameplay, so why this box art? I mean, how the hell is this? Man, this looks like a Metroid game or something looking at the cover. It looks like an intense run and gun action game. It's great art and very good game, but very misleading. Phalanx, however you say it doesn't matter because I never played it. It's a guy sitting in a chair with a banjo. Enough said. This cover is actually a little bit disturbing. I know it's a bit harder to think up clever covers for puzzle games, but this is just plain confusing. If you didn't know what Bust a Move was by the time, which I didn't, you really have no idea what this game's about by seeing this. Now this game's called Night Trap, and to be fair, it's not the art here that's misleading, it's the fact that they call it a video game. This is one of the few Sega CD 32X combo games that hit shelves and, as you can guess, didn't sell many copies. And for good reason. It's another one of those full motion video games that you pretty much sit and watch with very little actual playing. You know, the thing you want to do when you pop in a video game. Golden Axe is definitely one of my favorite beat-em-ups. I spent hours playing this game as a kid, but one question that always lingered in the back of my head was, who's the guy on the cover? And the guy with the blonde hair and the axe, it can't be this guy. You know, the guy with the dark hair, blue shorts, and sword. No, they couldn't be that far off. Could they? Now this game is just way far off. 3 girls on foot with guns, and we get a shoot 'em up? I've never played this game, but it looks like it could be decent. I mean, why would I have played this game? I would never think to pick up this game and look at the back. Ever. This is the second Jellicoe game on the list, and this one definitely takes the cake. Carnage Rally actually got a review based solely on its cover, which is a shame because it's actually a fun game, but how are we supposed to know that? It looks like the worst budget title to hit the gaming world since Action 52. Look at this crap. Who is this guy? Why is he in the shot? Why is his hair and eyebrows blue? Why does it look like he hasn't slept in weeks? There's so many questions left without answers.